is of how the Grinch stole Christmas. Every Who down in Whoville liked Christmas a lot. But the Grinch who lived just north of Whoville did not.
Which book should I read today? How to Hate Who's Volume 1 or How to Hate Who's Volume 2? Oh, I'm sure they're both great since they're written by me.
The Grinch hated Christmas, the whole Christmas season. Now please don't ask why. No one quite knows the reason. It could be his head wasn't screwed on just right. It could be perhaps that his shoes were too tight. But I think that the most likely reason of all may have been that his heart was 2 sizes too small. Whatever the reason, his heart or his shoes, he stood there on Christmas Eve hating the Who's, staring down from his cave with a sour, Grinchy frown at the warm-lighted windows below in their town, for he knew every Who down in Whoville beneath was busy now, hanging a mistletoe wreath.
And they're hanging their stockings. Tomorrow is Christmas. It's practically here. I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming this year.
For tomorrow he knew all the Who girls and boys would wake bright and early. They'd rush for their toys. And then, oh, the noise. Noise, noise, noise. That's one thing he hated. The noise, noise, noise. Then the Who's, young and old, would sit down to a feast. And they'd feast, and they'd feast, and they'd feast, feast, feast. And then they'd do something he liked least of all. Every Who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, would stand close together with Christmas bells ringing. They'd stand hand in hand, and the Who's would start singing.
Fahu forays, dahu dores, welcome Christmas, come this way. Fahu forays, dahu dores, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day.
They'd sing and they'd sing and they'd sing, sing, sing. And the more the Grinch thought of this Who Christmas sing, the more the Grinch thought,
I must stop this whole thing. Why, for 53 years I put up with it now. I must find a way to stop Christmas from coming, but how?
Then he got an idea, an awful idea. The Grinch got a wonderful, awful idea.
I know just what to do. With this hat and this coat, I look just like St. Nick. All I need is a reindeer. If I can't find a reindeer, I'll make one instead. Max!
Then he loaded some bags and some old empty sacks, and on a ramshackle sleigh, he hitched up old Max.
Giddy up!
And the sleigh started down toward the homes where the Who's lay a snooze in their town. All their windows were dark, quiet snow filled the air. All the Who's were all dreaming sweet dreams without care, when he came to the first little house on the square.
You're a mean one, Mr. Grinch. You
grabbed the tree and he started to shove when he heard a small sound like the coo of a dove. He turned around fast and he saw a small who, little Cindy Lou who was not more than 2. The Grinch had been caught by this tiny who daughter who got out of bed for a cup of cold water.
Claus, why? Why are you taking our Christmas tree? Why?
But you know that old Grinch was so smart and so slick, he thought up a lie and he thought it up quick.
Why, my sweet little tot, there's a light on this tree that won't light on one side. So I'm taking it home to my workshop, my dear. I'll fix it up there, then I'll bring it back here.
And his fib fooled the child. Then he patted her head, and he got her a drink, and he sent her to bed. And when Cindy Lou Who went to bed with her cup, he went to the chimney and stuffed the tree up. Then the last thing he took was the log for their fire. Then he went up the chimney himself, the old liar. On their walls he left nothing but hooks and some wire. And the one speck of food that he left in the house was a crumb that was even too small for a mouse. It was 1/4 dawn, all the who's still abed, all the who's still snooze when he packed up his sled. Packed it up with their presents, the ribbons, the wrappings, the tags and the tinsel, the trimmings, the trappings. 3,000 feet up the side of Mount Crumpet, he rode with his load to the tip top to dump it.
Max, you're supposed to help me. Pooh-pooh to the who's. They're finding out now that no Christmas is coming. I know just what they'll do. Their mouths will hang open a minute or two, and all the who's down in Whoville will cry boo-hoo. That is a sound that I simply must hear.
And he did hear a sound rising over the snow. It started in low, then it started to grow. But the sound wasn't sad. Why, this sound sounded merry. It couldn't be so, but it was merry, very. He stared down at Whoville, the Grinch popped his eyes, then he shook. What he saw was a shocking surprise. Every who down in Whoville, the tall and the small, was singing without any presents at all.
Fahu, forays, dahu, dores, welcome Christmas through this way. Fahu, forays, dahu, dores, welcome Christmas, Christmas Day. Welcome, welcome, Fahu, Ramis, welcome, welcome, dahu, Damis. Christmas Day is in our grasp, so long as we have hands to clasp.
He hadn't stopped Christmas from coming. It came! Somehow or other, it came just the same. And the Grinch, with his Grinch feet ice cold in the snow, stood puzzling and puzzling.
How could it be so? It came without packages. It came without ribbons. It came without tags. It came without packages, boxes or bags. Maybe Christmas doesn't come from the store. Maybe Christmas, perhaps, means a little bit more.
And what happened then? Well, in Whoville they say that the Grinch's small heart grew 3 sizes that day. And the minute his heart didn't feel quite so tight, he whizzed with his load through the bright morning light, and he brought back the toys and the food for the feast. And he himself, the Grinch, carved the roast beef. So please join us in this song. It's on your programs.